Hello, my name is Mike Scheibler and I have the privilege of serving as your Superintendent of Schools. On behalf of the Rockford Board of Education, our teachers, our support staff, our administrative team, I hope that you are working hard to stay safe, you and your families, as we deal with this crisis. This is a difficult situation for all of us, and our number one priority is that we are all safe in our daily lives until this crisis has been resolved. But as we go through this issue, we already are receiving rumors. Yesterday, which would be March 30th, there was a governor's presentation, a press conference, and she presented an update on the coronavirus and never mentioned that there was a possibility of closing schools across the state of Michigan. Also, I participated in a conference through the internet with our State Superintendent of Instruction, Dr. Michael Rice, and at that time, there was no indication that schools would be closed. Then I started hearing rumors from a couple of media sources last night that it's possible that schools will be closed and that the governor will be making an announcement in the next several days. Today is Tuesday, March 31st. I would imagine that by Wednesday or Thursday there will be an announcement with specifics regarding it, regarding whether schools will remain open or whether they'll be closed. So I want you to know at the videotaping of this message, in fact, no official word has been made from the governor's office that schools will be closed, but I anticipate they may be. So already, though, we have started the process back in the early part of March when students were sent home and were to be sent home through the first part of April, that we developed phase one that I sent you messages regarding, as well as they've been placed on our website. And that's a good place for you to go at rockfordschools.org, and right on the first page there's two links, one of them COVID-19, and the other one is our engagement activities for students teaching and learning. And this phase one has identified 10 lessons per grade level through elementary, and then 10 lessons per subject matter in our core subjects, math, science, social studies, and English, at the middle school and high school levels. If you have not visited those lessons, I encourage you to do so, and that your student participates in those lessons. The purpose of the engagement activities is to keep students sharp and focused on teaching and learning. Now, if in fact schools are closed for the remainder of the school year, if that announcement's made by the governor sometime this week, we will go into phase two. And we currently have teachers and administrators working to develop a more in-depth online instruction for our students in grades kindergarten through 12th grade. And I believe they will be of quality because we have our people, teachers and administrators, working to develop these instructional online learning activities. But I want you to also know I'm asking you to have patience, because if we were to truly develop an online instructional program for Rockford students, we would have started this 12 months ago, and we would have piloted the program after that before we implemented it. Obviously, under these unusual situations, we are doing this in days rather than 12 months and beyond. What we will develop will be good, it will be valid, it will be something that your students can learn from, but it's something that we are putting together in days. And I plan in the future, probably prior to spring break, but I plan to send you out a message that will clearly state the intent of phase two. It will be placed on our website, and all messages, of course, that I sent to you will also be found on the link of COVID-19. There are some issues that have been asked by parents and staff regarding the requirements that the state government establishes for public schools. One of those requirements include 180 days of instruction. Another one includes 1,098 hours of teaching and learning. Those particular two requirements have not been identified by the governor yet as being forgiven, but it is our position as public schools and my position as superintendent of schools here in Rockford that the 180-day requirement and the 1,098 hours of instruction be forgiven. That's happened in the past with unusual emergency events that have taken place, including our polar vortex that we dealt with last year. So I'm waiting for the governor on that particular issue. I do want to include in our phase 2 of our online teaching that we will also have mental health professionals in our district, our school psychologists, our speech paths, our social workers will be providing information to help you work with your children to deal with this crisis situation and the anxieties that are probably produced from experiencing this crisis. I also want to include in my message and thank our food service department and our director, John Henry, and his employees for providing meals to our families that need those meals. As you know, our high school and the cafeteria is open from 9 to 11 to pass out these meals. They will also be, meals will be available, of course, extra meals on Friday to cover the weekend. And our food service department will be open during spring break, also to distribute meals for our community. Okay, we also know that there's a lot of questions dealing with high school graduation and dealing with high school events that are being interrupted by a potential closing. And so therefore I've asked our high school principal, Dan Zhang, to address these two issues for you during this video. And so I welcome Dan Zhang to speak.
Hello Rams, it's good to stand before you virtually. I'd much rather do this in person, but this is what we have to deal with at present. I first want to send a message to our current Rockford High School 9th through 11th graders. I want you to know that we're working very hard behind the scenes to get things prepared for you in our phase 2 of curriculum at Rockford High School. Know that we're currently in phase 1 right now of Engage and Explore, and we are working hard right now behind the scenes to implement our phase 2, which will take you to the end of the school year in preparations for next school year. So underclassmen, stay engaged as best you can and look for further information about our phase 2 of our curriculum plan for the remainder of this school year. Now I'd like to take some time to address a very, very special group of Rams, the class of 2020. Who would have thought that your senior year would have been disrupted like this? I know this is a very difficult time for all of us, including the faculty at Rockford High School as well. A class of 2020, we so wish we could see you and give you a proper, typical send-off that has been given to classes before you. Know that our hearts are with you. Know that we are working behind the scenes and we are making preparations to truly celebrate your accomplishments. You've worked too hard for this and we are not going to let this go. But we need to let this run its course. And in due time, we are going to celebrate your accomplishments. We hope to celebrate those in our traditional manners, but maybe they will be untraditional. But please know that they will happen. The Rockford High School staff, the Rockford Public Schools Board of Education, your superintendent, we are making plans. You will graduate. We will figure this out. And more importantly, we want to celebrate your accomplishments, and those will come in due time. I am working with the staff at Rockford High School. I'm going to be working with your student council and your leadership groups and get some input on what this may look like. But again, seniors, I want you to know that you're going to graduate, and we are going to figure out ways to celebrate your accomplishments. You were born into this world during 9/11, and you are going to graduate during a global pandemic. I know this class is resilient, I know this class is innovative, and I so look forward to celebrating your accomplishments sometime very soon. And Rams, please, always remember to take care of yourself and those around you. I know that you are doing amazing things during our time away, and I'm so very proud to be associated with all of you. Again, take care, everybody, and we hope to see you very, very soon.